Welcome to the second season of the Sami Cone Show. I am so excited and honored to continue to help you maximize your money, time, and memories. And today's episode will do exactly that. I'm starting by sharing everything you need to know before getting back in a salon chair. Then I'll talk to the Titans about how fans can still be an active part of this season, as well as preview their home opener on Monday Night Football. Next, I have 3 tips for how to prep your plants for the fall. And finally, we're teaching you how math and fashion combine to help you dress for your shape and look like you've lost 10 pounds instantly. So get ready to be encouraged, equipped, and inspired like never before. This is the Sami Cone Show.
From the NewsChannel 5 Network, this is the Sami Cone Show, sponsored by Soundwaves at Gaylord Opryland.
To announce John Allen Salons as the official beauty partner of the Sami Cone Show. I don't know about you, but I have a lot of questions and a lot of expectations before I go and sit in the salon chair. That's why I've asked the Director of Education for John Allen Salon, Stan Newton, to join me today. Hi, Stan.
Hi, Sami. Great to be here.
It's so good to have you.
Yeah, really good.
We're going to address some of these key things. The first is the power of the consultation. So when I sit in a chair, as I did with you recently, what are some of the things that you're looking for that I should be in the know of as a consumer?
I think, Sami, it's key that people really understand the importance of the consultation. Yeah. This is really at the heart of the journey that you're going to go on with your stylist. And the consultation really is going to set up your life for the next 8 weeks. So it can't be underestimated, and we really should understand how important that is.
Yeah, and you talk about things, I mean, even though we're keeping safe with the masks, you had me take the mask off, you step back to a safe distance so you can see the shape of my face, things of that nature, correct?
Sure. As hairdressers, we're very visual people. Yeah. So, you know, this has been a real challenge. And one of the ways is to do that, do it safely, try and understand how you would work with a client a little bit more like a doctor rather than me just here to serve you.
Right.
I want to give you everything that you're looking for and more.
Yep.
And I think the key to that is to first of all understand what we're working with, but then also to really, really listen, not to just what's being said, but also what's not being said.
I'm so glad you said that. Yeah, so I recently brought my family into the salon and you helped with that. And so when we come in, you're asking some questions and you tell us to be prepared as a client.
Sure.
What are some of the questions that we need to be ready to answer when it comes to, especially if we want to change our style?
Sure. I think key is really, you know, what is the spirit? What is the mood of what you're looking for? We love it when clients bring in pictures, but at the same time, it's very difficult if there's one picture only. So, you know, Pinterest or building a little bit of a mood board is really helpful. The kind of questions that you can expect, you know, to be really honest about how you look after your hair at home. Yeah. I think it's key that you don't just leave the salon looking fantastic. It's important that your hair looks good every day between visits. Yeah. And I think the more confident you are in that, the better the results going to be.
I even heard you asking, you know, my teens, because again, I think there's always that bend of when you have a teen or a child come in, you want to make them happy, but you have to please the parent as well. And so asking questions even like as simple as what side do you part your hair on, things of even for work or for school. I know some of the stylists there said, do you tie your hair back a lot, or for work do you have to wear it a certain way? So for you, knowing that, being prepared to answer that helps you to make the best possible choices when it comes to hair.
Yeah, and you know, it's so important that the consultation doesn't just last in that moment from the chair to that moment when you're getting your hair washed. And I think the consultation really should last that whole appointment and take you on a journey, so that even if you don't agree on a big change on that day. You're selling ideas, you're sowing seeds. People love to talk about their hair.
Yeah, so you can schedule that free consultation in advance, or I think the color consultations at John Allen cost $25, but then apply towards your your
Your
color,
color.
right?
Yep.
So that you're, like you said, you don't have to feel like you have to do it that day. But then I think it's important. Sometimes I've been in a chair and thought, I'm not sure if I like where this is going. And that's what you're talking about. It doesn't just stop when you get your hair washed. As you're in the chair,
Yeah.
you can say, talk me through what you're doing now. And
Sure, I think is to really hold that your stylist to the conversation that you've had, feel that you're being reassured throughout the journey, and does that talk to what you've discussed in your consultation? And I think that if you continue on that journey together, you're going to feel a lot happier and a lot more confident at the end of the service.
I agree. This has been really great, Stan. We've also talked about how to keep from cheating on your hairdresser. We're going to have that on SamiCone.com. And if you'd like to visit Stan or any of the incredible stylists at John Allen, make sure to mention the Sami Cone Show, where you can get $20 off your first visit. And again, we'll have a lot more tips to make sure they're getting the most out of their salon experience at SamiCone.com. Thank you for being here, Stan. I look and feel
thank you.
great.
My
family
you.
loves you, and I hope you guys get to experience John Allen soon.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is great. With the Titans season opener just around the corner, fans all around Nashville are wondering how we can still support our home team. That's why I've called in Amy Wells, the Titans broadcast manager, in advance of that ever so important Monday Night Football appearance. Welcome, Amy.
Hey, how are you? Thanks for having me.
I'm doing well. I don't think I'm the only one that is giddy with excitement about our Titans getting to play again. Just talk to us a little bit about the season opener, Monday Night Football, and all the things that we can expect in the coming week.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be such a fun week. You can feel the Titans' excitement all through Nashville and really all through Middle Tennessee. People are so fired up about taking on the Denver Broncos on Monday Night Football. It's the latest kickoff the Tennessee Titans have ever had. So drink a cup of coffee, because that game starts at about 9:20 p.m. on Monday night. But gosh, there are so many ways that Titans fans can get involved. I know that there were some people who were disappointed they couldn't make that trip to Denver, but golly, there are yard signs that you can put in your yard that the Titans are giving away for free, and there are tons of places that people can pick those up and show their support.
Talk to us about some of those events. I mean, I know there's a drive-in movie that we're going to be going to tonight, so there's a lot of ways that people can either celebrate or even watch the game at Party Foul. Tell us about some of those interactions taking place.
Absolutely. Well, let's start with that movie night, because they're going to be showing Remember the Titans at a drive-in movie in Franklin. So head on over to TennesseeTitans.com/kickoff. Kickoff is what that is. And you can buy tickets there. There's still tickets available. So be sure to go to that drive-in movie tonight. It's going to be so much fun. And all the show times and everything are on TennesseeTitans.com/kickoff. And then there's so many watch parties. There's over 35 different watch parties that you can partake in throughout Middle Tennessee. So it's not just in Nashville. They're all over the place. So TennesseeTitans.com/hangout is where you can find every single hangout watch party that the Tennessee Titans are going to be sponsoring. There are 3 main ones. If you want some Titans swag, Titans cheerleaders, T-Rack, all of that, they're going to be at 3 locations. One is in Hendersonville, one is in Murfreesboro, and then one is in Franklin. So again, TennesseeTitans.com/hangout. All the information you could possibly need, but you're going to be able to find a place to watch the game and be around Titans fans, and of course be socially distanced and safe all at the same time.
Yeah, I love that. I love that we can still get out and support, but do it within our communities, maybe in a smaller atmosphere. You know, speaking of community, the Titans have been doing so much in the community to help with a lot of different causes, not just with COVID, but even registering to vote. We've got just about a minute left, but can you talk to us about some of the ways the Titans have really embraced and made some positive impacts in the community right now?
Absolutely. There's so much going on in the Nashville community and just our country. The Titans have partnered with I Am a Voter, which is a really cool way that Titans fans can learn how to get more involved in their civic duty, that is voting. So if you text 26797, Titans the text message to 26797. You can see if you are already registered to vote and also get notifications and updates about your specific polling place. So there's a lot of valuable information there, and we're so excited to just be able to help educate this community and make sure that everybody goes out and is able to vote. All of this stuff is nonpartisan. We don't care who you vote for. We just care that you get involved and you do vote.
Absolutely. And I love that the, T-Rex's going to be out, the cheerleaders are going to be out. Really, there's something for fans of all ages. Like I said, Remember the Titans is one of our favorite movies. And so I can't wait to get one of those yard signs and cheer on the Titans for Monday Night Football. Amy, thank you so much for joining us today, and keep doing what you're doing, and we'll keep supporting as well.
Gosh, it's so good to see you. Tighten up, everybody. We can't wait to see all your Titans pride.
Awesome. Remember, you can go to TennesseeTitans.com/kickoff to find all of those things Amy was talking about. And we can't wait to cheer on our Titans to a winning Monday Night Football. Thanks, Amy. Fall is almost upon us, and that means it's time to prep your plants for cooler weather. Who better to help us than one of Nashville's leading horticulturalists, Brooks O'Brien, who also happens to be the lead horticulturalist at one of my favorite vacation destinations, Gaylord Opryland. Welcome, Brooks.
We are so glad to have you out here. We love having our guests come and let us talk about all of the plants we have out here at Opryland.
I think all of us have become amateur gardeners in this time of quarantine. You said there's 3 helpful tips for getting ready for fall and winter, and the first of those is cutting back and cleaning up. What does that mean?
A lot of people don't understand that whenever the plants start to wither and fall back for the winter, that material needs to go to the compost pile.
Oh.
One, when it comes down and lands in the flower bed itself, it can harbor pests, will overwinter underneath, and also there's some disease and some bacteria that may overwinter underneath that. All right, let me see what you got. Wow!
So after that, you also talk about protecting and preparing. What goes into that?
A lot of people will take pictures of their flower bed or their shrub bed before they do away with everything so they can remember where it is.
Smart.
Because a lot of people will plant pansies or violas to overwinter, and you don't want to plant those right on top of what you've just taken care of. Another thing is that people will put bulbs in the ground during the fall and early winter. That way they're prepared for when the spring comes.
The final is to plan ahead for the next season. How do we even start doing that?
Right. A lot of that is when you can bring in new soil, fresh mulch. People use the shredded bark mulch or the pine straw, and it gets things ready for the spring. Another thing that you can do is plant trees and some different shrubs, because it gives the winter time enough for the roots to start taking place, so they'll be ready for the spring whenever they start to leaf out.
It's so amazing, and it's always 72 degrees inside of Opryland, so you're really able to grow some things you might not normally see in this area of the country. What are some of those?
This is the teddy bear palm.
Oh my goodness.
And whoever discovered this thought that small fuzz that's on there reminded him of his daughter's teddy bear, so he named it the teddy bear palm.
Love it.
One of the neat things about it is if you discover it or you hybridize it, you get to name it. You could name it the Sami Cone Diffenbachia.
Yes, I could. Of course I could.
Anything that you find you can do. One of the other really neat plants that we have over here is the Alocasia.
Wow.
And I thought what I would do is fan you because you deserve to be fanned.
Please, please. I've been waiting for this all my life, Brooks. Well, that's fantastic. Thank you, Brooks, for walking us through. Appreciate having you here. I can't wait to go explore more of the gardens here.
Let's go.
Okay. I'm using my self-guided garden tour that I downloaded on my phone to find some of the unique plants here at Gaylord Opryland. I'm looking for the zombie palm, and I found Brooks.
Hey, Sammy!
Is this the zombie palm?
This is a zombie palm.
Okay.
This is one of the very unique plants that our horticulturists love to talk about with the guests. It's native to Haiti. It's also native to Dominican Republic. And one of the really interesting things is the spines that you see on the zombie palm are used in voodoo.
Oh, so if I have some pain later, I'll know what's going on?
You'll know where it came from. We are still going to go ahead and go through with our Christmas program that we've got. Our exterior horticulture folks, they've been outside for the last few weeks going ahead and installing all the multiple millions of lights that we put up.
This fall, guests are invited to Gaylord Opryland Resort to experience a fall vacation like no other, because now through October 31st, you can experience Goblins and Giggles. That's right here at Gaylord Opryland. Goblins and Giggles offers everything from scavenger hunts featuring Spookly the Square Pumpkin, trick-or-treating trails, even spooky animal encounters. You can buy family experience packages, including a one-night stay at the resort, 2 scavenger hunt booklets, and 4 passes on the Delta River flatboat. And now there are 3 ways to experience sound waves, Gaylord Opryland's upscale indoor-outdoor water attraction. Tennessee residents can book an overnight package, which includes Soundwaves passes for the family. You can also rent a party room to bring friends and family in, or for a limited time, you can get a Tennessee resident day pass, valid select Monday through Thursday. With so many ways to chill and thrill, I hope you'll join us at Soundwaves soon. Well, if you're like me, you're wondering what to be transitioning to in terms of wardrobe for the coming fall season, but also trying to do so on a budget. I called in an expert and one of my oldest blogging friends, Kelly Snyder from Adore Your Wardrobe. Hey, Kelly.
Hi, Sammy. How are you? It's just so good to see you. I can't believe we've been friends for 10 years. We've been online for 10 years.
When I say oldest, not that you're my oldest blogging friend, but we go back quite a way. Been blogging for a long time, and I've always appreciated you, Kelly, because you've always been so honest from almost day one. You were willing to, go deep with me. And I love that you're doing the same for so many women now. You've pivoted your business in a way to demystify fashion, and it's not an art, but it's more math, science. What is that all about?
I know, crazy, right? So, I went through this in my, after having kids, and I was like, my body in my, 30s and 40s was not the same body I had in my 20s, right? Like the 20s, you feel like you can put on anything and it looks fine, and all your friends are in the same boat. And as I dove into what fashion is and kind of went to the roots of fashion, I was like, this is really math and science. This is like geometry. This is understanding proportions and balance, and it's understanding the science of color and how the eye is attracted to certain colors. And, and essentially it's like all of us, we fight against that so much because we, fashion is part, and how we look is so much of a part of women. And it's not that we're vain, it's just we're wired that way. And so when we are frustrated, like when we see our best friend, right, wearing an outfit, and then we're like, oh, well, I should try that. And then we do, and then we're like, oh, that did not look good. That did not look right. We beat ourselves up. And what it's interesting is that has nothing to do with it. It's really about picking clothes that work with your body and not against it. And once you understand that, it provides so much freedom. Because it becomes so much easier to pick out clothes. It saves you time, it saves you money, it saves you frustration. And it's just, I want to be able to help women kind of demystify that whole piece, because when we feel good, when women feel good, when we know that we look good, there's really nothing that we can't accomplish, really. Yeah,
I'm so glad you say that, because especially with quarantine and staying home, we've been looking at Pinterest, looking at social media. I feel like all my friends are like, look at this, buy this sale. And then it literally happened to me yesterday. I just bought a dress that was, I probably could buy a friend these days, adorable on this friend. And it was like a tent on me. And I bought a size smaller. And so I'm just like, what is wrong? And so you talk about dressing the right way. It can literally shave 10 pounds off, but what do you need to know to be able to do that?
It's understanding that there's balances that have to be created. And that's the math and science piece. There's vertical balance and horizontal balance. And these are things that have never been, you didn't go to home ec class and nobody taught you that. You can't go into Old Navy and someone's going to be like, well, that really puts you in horizontal balance, or that puts you in vertical balance. That doesn't get taught. And so in Adore Your Wardrobe, we really dive into that so that you understand what balance looks like on your body. This is not a cookie cutter program. This is a program that really dives in how clothes look on you, and so that you understand what you need to do personally for your own fashion in order to create a wardrobe that you really adore, like what clothes you really need to pick. And there's also things people say, well, I don't like the style of this, this influencer, or I don't like that. And like, we don't do that. Like, I'm not going to give you 20 pieces of clothing that you can pick out and then origami them into 70 outfits. Like, that's not what we do. I want you to build your clothes based on your lifestyle and based on your style. Like, style is so intrinsic to people, and it's an outward expression of who we are. And I think women sometimes are scared of that because they're like, they don't necessarily see that, in all of the social media, what their personal style is. So, we call it the three-legged stool, which is really, picking clothes that work with your body, not against it, understanding what balance is and what fit means, and then picking them that are in your style. And when you have that trifecta, everything is amazing.
Yeah, I so appreciate how you talk through the body types in a different way, really, than I've heard them talked about before. And even on your social media, you give so many different examples of, if you're a carrot, here's a great example for you. You have a free masterclass coming up that anyone can take. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so on September 17th at 8:00 p.m., I will be doing a free masterclass on the Adore Your Wardrobe Facebook page called How to Dress Your Body. Literally, that's what it's called. It can't be any more simple than that, right? And I will go into the formulas that have built the Adore Your Wardrobe curriculum. So like, you'll understand what I mean when I say horizontal balance, and you'll understand what I mean when I say vertical balance. Like, we dive into that. And it's a free masterclass that anybody can take. But I really want women to really start thinking about fashion differently. And I think once they start to think about it differently, they buy differently, they put their outfits together differently, and that's when the magic really happens.
Agreed. Kelly, thank you so much for joining us. You can find more on adoreyourwardrobe.com. I hope you learn as much as I have. Kelly, thank you, and let's keep looking great.
Thanks, Sammy. Have a good one.
You too.
Before I go, I need you to know, be someone you want to follow. The quarantine has given us unprecedented access to celebrities, at least through social media, which got me thinking, are you someone you'd want to follow? With an increasingly charged political and social climate, some have taken to social media to air whatever they think, whenever they think it. But if you had paparazzi following you around 24/7, would you be proud of what they caught on camera? Colossians 3:17 tells us, let every detail in your lives, words, actions, whatever, be done in the name of Jesus, thanking God the Father every step of the way. C.S. Lewis also said it this way, integrity is doing the right thing even when no one is watching. So while we may not be celebrities, that doesn't mean someone isn't watching us or waiting for a word of encouragement from us. As you go through your day-to-day, ask God to reveal opportunities for you to both be an example to others and be more aware of who you are when no one is around. I want to thank all my guests and sponsors who help make this show what it is. And to each of you, have a great day. Make sure you make it great, and do not wait to tell someone you love how you feel about them. Bye, friends.